I'm very excited today because Amazon have just delivered my brand new DJI Mini 3 Pro. I have been waiting for this thing for as long as many of you guys really, and I have been using the Mini 2 since it first came out. I thought that was a wonderful drone, but I'm very excited to start getting into some of the improvements and upgrades that the Mini 3 Pro is going to offer. But I'm going to go ahead now, get this thing unboxed, get it charged, get it into the air and share that with you guys. Enjoy the video. You can straight away tell how the design is a lot different to the predecessor. It really is. So let's just get this thing open if we can. Yeah, just compare that to the Mini 2. You can definitely tell there's a difference between them. The props themselves look pretty much identical, however. So we've got the battery compartment, the SD card, which will go in there, and also the USB charging. And that's pretty much the same as on the Mini 2 as well. Oh, just to clarify as well, the battery that it comes with is a smaller battery of 2 that are available. So there is a larger battery that gives you, I think it's 47 minutes of flight time, whereas this one only gives you 34 minutes. But because this is marketed at the pre-250 gram drone market, which is great for consumers since most places in the world, most countries, have far more relaxed restrictions on drones such as this that come under that 250 grams. This is probably the battery that most are going to want to use. So elsewhere in the box, we do of course have the new remote controller. The control sticks are on the back, so we can pop those out and put them into position just by screwing them down. Then of course they're easy to pop off again once you are done with your flight. And just briefly comparing this controller to the standard controller that comes with the Mini 2 or with the Mini 3 if you don't opt for this version, you can see that you've got pretty much the same buttons in play here. The one difference is that you do have a customizable button here on the Mini 2 controller, and you have customizable buttons on the back here for the, it's not the smart controller, but for the screen controller. So there is a smart controller available, but it's a lot more expensive. So this is kind of like a rundown version of that, but it still has all of the features that I am going to be wanting to use. There we have it, that's the unboxing. Okay, so on the kitchen scales here, this is the Mini 2 with the battery in, 238 grams. Now, the Mini 3 is a little bit heavier, again, with the battery in, is under 250 grams, but it is just under, okay? So when it comes to adding any additional accessories to this thing, you just have to be aware that you will be going over that 250 limit. Okay, so let's go ahead and get everything turned on. This drone does have obstacle avoidance and all of that good stuff, but it doesn't work in some video modes. So I can hear that obstacle avoidance is kicking in already. So I'm currently in normal mode. And I would say that sound-wise, that's pretty much identical to the Mini 2 in terms of how it sounds. Now let me just orient myself with these controls here. So we've got an additional wheel on the controller, which I believe is camera zoom. Yeah. That motor you can see there is a 1990 Nissan. I'm going to have to get that out and about at some point. It would be a great means of testing the active track. And then we do have the gimbal as well, the gimbal controls. You have to excuse the mess here in our field. It's a bit of a working field, so... But it does give me a nice clear space to fly the drone. And I'm going to tell you straight away, initial impressions of this controller, absolutely brilliant. The picture is crystal clear. One of the new features as well over the Mini 2 is the fact that the transmission to your screen, whether the controller or to your phone, is 1080p rather than 720p. And that makes a huge difference, it really does. So then, let's go ahead now and just have a bit of a fly around the field. Just get used to these gimbal controls. There we go. So a bit more height. And I'm currently in normal mode here. Oh wow, it's so light, this controller, at least compared to what I'm used to. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Just the clarity of the picture there. I need to start recording. 130 feet there. Oh, you get such wonderful views, don't you, with these drones? You really do. Let's just drop it down a bit. Right, one thing I want to try then, very quickly, because this is the maiden flight, is some of the active track features. Now, the reason that the Mini 3 even has this active track stuff that we're about to have a brief foray into is because of the obstacle avoidance that wasn't available on the Mini 2. Right, and there's 3 options. So, Spotlight, the drone is going to stay fixed in position in terms of its actual location, but it will pivot so that the gimbal and the camera will stay focused on the subject. POI, so we can speed up. I'm not going to go too fast because there are trees around, and we just click go and it will go towards the direction that you've got the arrow pointed in. So again, we'll just move over, say, to the other side, send it back, click go, and you can go in a full circle. But before you use this mode, it's imperative that you do go ahead and just scan your environment, making sure that you're not going to hit anything. Now, it looks like we're in the clear, at least for a while, but you can get some really nice smooth shots using this mode. And let's stop just before we go into that tree. I'll show you that. I just wanted to show you how close I got to that tree. Ah, there we go. Yeah, you're not limited to tracking people. You can track vehicles or just any subject really. And if that subject is moving, then the drone will do its best to follow. If I run a little bit, I can't go too fast because I can feel the mic bouncing on my chest like it wants to fly off. But I'm going to go around this tree here. Actually, I won't go around the tree because I want to try and avoid the power lines, which are just past that, since we're quite low down. But you get the idea. It's a great feature. And because of that obstacle avoidance, you're less likely to crash into something. But there we have it then, guys. You know, this is literally my initial impressions. This was my very first flight, and colour me impressed. Seriously, this thing for a sub 250 gram drone is a beast. And I just know I'm going to have so much fun with this thing. And when I get the kids out as well, we're going to be able to enjoy it together and get some pretty awesome shots for the family. But folks, I really do appreciate you stopping by today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.